Yeah, I don't. Sure, we're not doing the leadership money yet, but we did that enough with Paul. You don't look like you have a family. Do you have any pets in your family? Yeah.
I don't think so.
I mean, they have a red.
Yeah, I got it. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. If you all can stand, raise the flag, start with the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so we got a plethora of business for this meeting. So we'll start out with the Mount Home High School Junior High Band. It's the largest group we've got to go to state.
Yes.
Come on up and talk about your kids.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna need the kids to come on up too.
Are you sure it's gonna get crowded? Okay, let me do my spiel first, and and then I'll organize the kids. That's my job, because otherwise they're gonna knock things over. Chairman, members of the school board, Mr. Gilbert, I just want to say that these kids, it's very well known in our community how much work that these kids put in year round. As you see it all the time in the parades, their concerts, their competitions, what they do at their school assemblies and stuff. This is one of those things that is not as public, and that's preparing for their state solo and ensemble competitions. So a lot of these kids, they start in October, they pick their music in October and they practice by themselves. If they have an accompanist who they do, she's absolutely amazing, Amy Cole, they work with her and they prepare, and then they go to district, which was back in March. And they go in, obviously with the hope of making it to state, but just getting that experience and being able to audition and work towards it. And yeah, this is the first year that we've had out of, I think it was 20 that auditioned, we have 17 entries that are going, totaling out at 16 students, because I've got students who are in more than one category. So yeah, this is the biggest group, as far as I know, that has been able to go from Mountain Home Band. And these kids have just worked so hard, and they just deserve to have as many accolades as they possibly could. So yeah, it's a big deal. We go at the beginning of May, and we hope to just do our best and represent Mountain Home well. So yeah. Okay, guys. Where would you like them? Okay, so you guys rope around.
So how about we just, I'll call names.
Okay, and I'll let you know if they're here or not, if they're not all here. Okay.
Yeah, this last one, I'll butcher.
Aparicio.
Ari.
Joshua.
Ari.
Ari. Okay, he's not here.
Ari's not here,
Okay.
okay.
Don't even have the word.
Great.
Brady. Yeah.
Go down one.
Shake his hand.
Brandon.
Chase.
Congratulations on that as well. Cody.
He's not here, but yes. Jesse. It's fun to point out that some of these kids are second and third timers, but a lot of them are first timers going to state as well, so. He is not here.
Okay. Simpson, I cannot.
Kiara, she
Kiara.
is not here.
He's not here. Leila?
Leela. Madison is not here.
Mason.
Macy. Yeah. Brady, sit down a little bit more. Starting to fill up. Yeah, you guys just, yeah.
Rosabella?
I know how much it's great.
Yeah.
It is your favorite. Trace is not here.
Trevor.
Trevor, right there. Yeah, Zoe. All right. Let me get, oh gosh, I'm gonna stand all the way back here. You guys look so good. Yay. Hey, thank you. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah. Good job, guys. Thank you.
That's okay. We'll get more there. All right. All right, Rob, where's the Robin go? Robin? Robin?
He's coming. Next was out there.
Yeah, next, we'll bring him in.
Guys ready to come in?
So what we'll do is. Names and the money makers everything.
I wrote a little. Good evening, school board. It is my great honor to recognize a very special group of students from Stevens Elementary. These are my third and fourth grade Eagle mentors. These students have been thoughtfully selected by their teachers for consistently demonstrating leadership, responsibility, and kindness. Our Eagle mentors serve in a variety of meaningful roles across our school to help supervise recess, cleaning our desks and lanyards. They assist with welcoming visitors and give building tours, and they serve on our school's safety patrol. A lot of them do. This year, each of our students was invited to participate in the governor's official signing of the proclamation declared April as the month of the military child. So we had several kids who got to do it, several who weren't able. These students represent the best of what it means to be Stevenson Eagles. And if you would like to present the certificates to them.
All right, so I'm gonna read your name. And I'll give you a certificate, shake your hand, and then you'll move down to the end, okay? So I have Lillian first.
Did any of you guys have anything you wanted to say? Because I know some people had something they wanted to say, but their parents don't know. Everybody had anything they want to bring up. You guys can speak directly to the governor, so the governor will sign the proclamation you got to give me for his. Right. Thank you, guys. Still guidance. Thank you for coming. Yes.
Run while you can.
Like they're saying.
You're mad.
All right, Lonnie, you're up.
I feel like I've been abandoned.
I'll be your
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
No, I get to speak to you tonight, on behalf of Hacker Middle School, where I've had it's kind of the pleasure to share with you over the past 5 years, some of the activities we've had associated with our 5-year 21st Century Community Learning Center grant. I wish they could make that title a little bit longer. If you're paying attention, I said I've reported for 5 years, it's 5-year grant. That means this is the end. Jeff, doing what Jeff does, kept us in really good position to reapply, and I am happy to announce that we were one of 10 recipients for another 5 years, 10 out of 75 applicants in the state. And that is a 5-year grant. A 5-year grant for just over $500,000. That will allow us to continue those before and after school programs, family engagement events, the really great fishing trip that the kids get to take, the summer camp, all of those things. And I don't know if she's out there, if she just wasn't able to make it. Really would like to acknowledge Liz Burnett, who is our coordinator. She took over after Robin got us going. And has really grown the program and put us in a great position to be awarded this grant again. So that is good news.
Congratulations on that. All right, so notice of the annual budget workshop, so that's, do we just need to read this or?
No, just inform people that their budget workshop.
6 May 2025, 6 P.M. here. Okay, superintendent report.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, a couple of things, just let you know, we're in the smack dab in ISAT testing season. And with that, we were randomly selected by the state for monitoring, so we will have a individual from the state coming out to visit West Elementary. He was pretty thrilled about that, so. But things are going well with it. And then the other update is just with the legislature finally convening. We're starting to get the budget information in from the state and starting to have a better picture of what that looks like. I think the big concern is going to be federal funding and what that looks like. There's still a lot up in the air. Legislatively, it was not a real positive session for public education. I don't anticipate that changing next year, as it's not a big election year yet. And so we do expect that the vouchers and those kind of things are going to come back again, probably with a little more money behind those, but we'll adjust and we'll keep working through that. see some of the bills that come up with what's allowed, what's not allowed in classroom displays, and it's just, some of it's gotten to where it puts our staff in very political positions when they should be. So, you know, at some point, hopefully that pendulum goes back a little bit to some common sense type of legislation, but I don't anticipate seeing that next year. So with that, we survived that and your budget court, so we're happy to answer your question.
So with the shakeup they've got going on nationally. And the chance to different, changing the way they want us to do different items.
Yes.
How is that impacting us at this point? And is it going to maybe the next week? I don't know.
Yeah, it definitely will. We had to submit a Title VI form today that we've never had to submit, which that covers all of our federal funding. And it's basically the anti-DEI compliance that's gone out. And so the state has done a good job of trying to balance that out with what's going on. But to answer your question, trustee Binion, it's hard to say. We finally today received an impact aid payment that we probably should have gotten months and months ago. And it's not the normal delay with impact aid. It was simply the delay because of the budget process as that has been going through. And similar to our grant, the PSMI grant for Stevenson, where that federal earmark through Congressman Simpson's office was not included in the budget process this time. And so we are resubmitting that. I'm waiting on one letter of reference on that from the governor's office, and then we'll submit that. We jumped to the top of the list in Congressman Simpson's process with that, so it'll be approved, but the earliest we would see the funding for that would be most likely October of this year. So, which is okay, because with some of the things going on with that project, we're in the delay, and it's the environmental assessment is taking much longer than planned. And so I visited with the architect and the construction management firm last week, and it'll actually fit well into their timing of things as well. But it's just the unknown that, you know, we don't know if there's going to be significant cuts to Title I or special ed or any of those, you know, kind of programs. But from the state level, the funding, I think we're in a pretty good position. As a rural district, we come out a little better than some of the other areas, but it doesn't mean that there's still an abundance of state funding that either. I think the biggest thing that they kind of dropped the ball on this year was how to address our special ed funding, knowing that we have some very high cost IEPs in the district, and not just our district, but every district. And they've been working on a mechanism to try to support that. And that was killed late in session. So those kind of things are still gonna cause issue with your discretionary funding out of general fund. So hopefully some of that comes back next year after they've had a little more time to process it.
So maybe impact aid you mentioned earlier, is it looking online? System we got, or it's
We're still below what we budgeted. So, you know, hopefully though, with the late release of this payment, there's more.
Anybody else have questions?
There were a number of bills that passed. I followed the construction side of that. There were a number of bills that passed as well that will actually help with
Yes.
school construction, repair, maintenance, and the ability for people to go out and secure bids locally.
Yes.
And that is year as well.
Yeah, but the Senate bill 1118 is one that raises the threshold on where we have to go out for the formal bid process, and that will be a big help. You know, and as trustee Bennett can attest to, when an RFP goes out right now, you never know how many people you need to get on projects or. You know, part of it's availability of product that's not going to get better for the short term. We did meet with the architect to discuss the windows at the high school. And that was one of the comments was that any aluminum type of product is going to be hard to come by in the next 6 to 8 months.
Moving on, Board of Trustees Public Engagement. Anybody got-
I have nothing.
No, I was called by one of our constituents that wanted to discuss some matters of school maintenance and repair and improvements to the school. We might do discussion with them.
I'd like to know the same person. All right, move on. Public input. Right? Nothing. Approval of the agenda. Take a motion to approve the agenda, so we,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Consent agenda, we'll take a motion to approve that. Or unless you have something pulled out.
And so moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Delegation, we have none. There's business. Approval of bid proposal for east, west, and junior high parking lot. Where's Scott? There you are.
Good evening, Chairman, members of the board. I put some info in your bid packet for the RFP that we're referring to. West Elementary and East Elementary would be complete redos on the parking lot. Junior high would be refurbished with some extensive patching. At this time, I'd like to ask your approval to move forward with those projects.
You say east and west will be a complete redo.
Correct.
Basically tear it all off.
Tear it all off, regrade it, take care of, both of them have drainage issues that are problematic in the wintertime.
Will they be able to recycle it? Tear off there. And the other side.
I-
Justice stuff out?
Do not know, probably not. I'm gonna assume they're gonna use a loader and just, I don't think they're gonna grind.
There's no possible grind. Was there engineering requirements, permitting requirements included in the proposal? Or is it-
No engineering. Unclear on the second part of that question.
So that as far as subsurface.
Permitting, no,
Required.
no, we
Just
did,
a replacement.
we just did replacement.
Did they give you? I know we probably get right at the back. How much bit line are they gonna put in to replace?
There was in their proposals, they each had a little bit different approach on how much material they would bring in.
Yeah.
So on the one that we'd like to move forward with, they had more material that they wanted to bring in and utilize fresh material.
But they didn't give you a cross section of what they're gonna do. Like, we're gonna excavate down 18 inches and put in drawbridge to get around.
I believe C2 did. Where it would have answered your question on that.
I
Yes.
did.
I didn't send that portion to you.
Okay.
My understanding is we would go with the lowest bidder, correct?
No,
Okay.
no.
What is your recommendation?
I would recommend, so we did when we went through the documentation, I'm forgetting the correct term. When you went line item for line item, their point system, it was very clear that we needed to go with C2. There was missing documentation with PSI. They didn't have a timeline. And they didn't, we asked for concrete in a certain section at the junior high to handle the garbage trucks, and they did not include that. So with those three items, on the point system, it made it very clear to go with C2.
The other thing that C2 did on it was list their public works license.
Correct.
See it.
No,
And I didn't see that even when I went through the bid, but I could see where, PSI did not submit everything that we would need.
correct,
There were several missing.
Yeah, I see two did.
Correct.
This now only a motion.
Need to do them individually. One side.
No, they need to be individually because each school is a different cost, and it's in your board packets.
They were bid in the total.
each building had its own price.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, for East Elementary, the total was 105,060.
Okay.
The West,
It was 155,000.
155,000.
And the junior high is 164.
Correct.
Correct.
I make the motion that we accept the bid from C2 Construction for Mountain Home Junior High School in the amount of $164,000 based on the selection criteria.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Alright, that was good. Now, east. I'll make the motion to approve the bid for the approximate and parking lot east for 105,060.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
West.
I move that we approve the bid for West Elementary for 155,000.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
So this time we will. Appoint temporary clerk of the board for the upcoming executive session.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
it's only for the last part of the executive session.
Okay. Yeah, for the last part.
Yes.
We're still gonna do it now, right? The reading nominations, who's gonna play Sharon?
I volunteer.
All right, so you have a volunteer. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, it's yours. Okay, I'll take a motion, we go to executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, final vote. Yeah, I was gonna let you take the roll call, please. Sharon, can you do the roll call, please?
Trustee Perez,
Aye.
trustee Donahue. Aye. Trustee Donahue,
Aye.
Mr. Chairman,
Aye.
and trustee Knox is absent.
Resolution to adjourn the executive session. Be it resolved, the Board of Trustees, School District 193 recess from an open meeting into the following executive session pursuant to Idaho Code Title 74, Chapter 2, Section 74-202, subsection 3, subsection 4, subsection C, subsection 6, subsection A. Open meeting, regular meeting, executive session. Section 74-204, subsection 3, open meeting, executive session. 74-206, subsection 1, subsection B, to consider the disciplining of a public school student and to consider placing an employee on probation. Consider the evaluation of a public school employee, Idaho Code. Be it further resolved, following the executive session, the Board of Trustees will convene in a public session for further business or adjourn the meeting. We are in executive session.